So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Salt Lake Bees baseball is on the air from the ballpark in America First Square. It is game number 3 of the Salt Lake Bees and the Sacramento River Cats. Tony Parks with you here today from Daybreak. It is Alma Bean back in our Zone Sports studios, and we're ready to go. Walbert Urania coming out here for his second ever start as a member of the Salt Lake Bees. 14 quality starts last season with the Trash Pandas, including one outing when he took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Salt Lake Bees tonight. It is Wade Meckler out in left field, Siri in center with Lugo at right, Christian Moore in the hot corner with Guzman at short, Grissom is at second, Mancini is at first. Sebastian Rivero is behind the dish, and it is Walbert Urania on the mound. A doubleheader coming your way tomorrow. Tonight, warmer than last night, but still cold. It was about to be the coldest first pitch in the history of this ballpark. The starting lineup for the Sacramento River Cats, it includes Buddy Kennedy, who reached base his first 8 plate appearances of the series. Oslavis Pasabe bats 8. This is his first appearance with the Sacramento River Cats. Nate Furman there in the 9-hole, a guy with an on-base percentage of .688. And of course, the #1 prospect in the Giants organization is Bryce Eldridge. Drew Gilbert is going to walk into that left-hand batter's box, says hello to Sebastian Rivero, the catcher. It is the Bees, it's the River Cats. It's a Friday night. We're at the ballpark, and there's no place we'd rather be. Thanks so much for joining us and making us a part of your Friday. Drew Gilbert 0 for 4 with a walk in last night's game. 4 for 16 overall on the season. A double and a run batted in. Urania rocks and fires. First pitch at the knees, a called strike. 6:37 is our first pitch time. On here tonight in the Daybreak area in South Jordan, 49 degrees. Next pitch bounce foul over by the first base on deck circle. And it's 0-2. Expected to get as low as the high 30s right around 10 o'clock tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. And no score here in the early going. Walbert Urania stands from the side, rocks steady from the belt, kicks and deals, and it's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Urania started with the Angels this year. It was the only member of the team without major league experience. Just the 5th Angels player since 2000 to make his major league debut on opening day. This is fouled off right there at home plate. We'll do it again. And a ball and 2 strikes. The Sacramento River Cats, who had all 9 hitters reach base on Wednesday. 8 of them in the lineup had a knock. Salt Lake winners in game 1, 13-5. Sacramento took game 2 on Wednesday night, 10-5. Urania with a long stare into Rivero. Clock winding down, he deals, and it's fouled straight back to the padding of the backstop. No, swing and a miss, strike 3. Rivero gets it on the carom and rifles it down to first in time. And for more on tonight's game, let's go to Sammy Miller.
Tony, Angels manager Kurt Suzuki expressed how much he loves Walba Urania, as he is an incredible teammate and works extremely hard. But for them, they know that sending Walber down to AAA is what's best for him. Kurt added that for younger players, a lot of the times the game can get sped up for them. So the key for Walber is making sure he remains consistent by stringing together some strong starts here with the Bees. And the coaching staff knows that he is an extremely bright future. So the focus is also making sure that he finds that confidence and knows that he has incredible stuff to get a whole lot of strikeouts, but key is consistency in order for him to rejoin the Angels up in Anaheim, Tony.
Oh, great, and you're right, Sammy, because his stuff is electric, and he put that on display last year in the one performance that he had with the Bees. It was against Las Vegas. He punched out 10 hitters as Rodriguez grounded out to short. 2 up, 2 down. Bryce Eldridge now at the plate. No score early on, top of the first inning. Urania goes with a 4-seamer, changeup, a slider, and a curveball. Next pitch down, and the count is now a 2-0. The fastball at about 91.3, but boy, that slider can move, and that changeup uses that very, very well, as he had hitters off balance in the one appearance he had with the Bees. 2-0, up and in, look out. And it goes to the backstop. 3 balls and no strikes. He was just an out shy of a quality start. Racked up the pitch count, but was still very effective. Got a no decision as a member of the Bees, but it was great to see him pitch well at the AAA level. Next pitch, in there for a strike. Eldridge taking all the way. 3-1. Bryce Eldridge, who reached base 4 times the other night. 2 for 4 with a double. He was hit by a pitch and also walked. Salt Lake pitchers hit 4 batters, walked 5 batters back on Wednesday. Eldridge softly bounces back to the pitcher, Urania, a little keyhole roller, and he'll underhand to first in time. 1, 2, 3 go the River Cats. Bottom of the first inning, no score. The Bees and the River Cats. Salt Lake starting lineup at the top. Christian Moore, he reached base 4 times the other night with 4 walks. Denzer Guzman in the 2-hole with a home run earlier in this series. Vaughn Grissom, 2 for 3 with a double the other night. And all the way down there, Wade Meckler in the 8th spot, a guy who played with Sacramento for for a trio of years, including what was an unbelievable 2023 when he hit .354. Christian Moore, the second baseman, against Carson Whisenhunt, the lefty with the River Cats. Whisenhunt fires low for ball one. Christian Moore has already drawn 6 walks so far this year. He had 14 in all of last season in a Bees uniform. Whisenhunt the 1-0. And Moore twists inside, and it's called over the inside part of the plate for a strike, 1-1. Carson Whisenhunt, the PCL pitcher of the year in 2025, and what a season it was. Ended the year the #1 pitching prospect in the Giants organization. Moore takes a good cut, but slices it straight back to the screen, 1-2. Whisenhunt made 5 starts for San Francisco, 2-1 with an ERA of .501. Got his first win August 3rd at the Mets. Puts the glove in front of his face, winds, kicks the 1-2. Snaps just inside, and the count's at 2 strikes. Carson Whisenhunt started 4 games against the Bees last year. He was 4-0. 4 of his 9 wins came against Salt Lake. He had 4 total wins in 46 previous games in his professional career. In there, a called strike 3. And Christian Moore is down with a backward K. 1 down. It brings up Denzer Guzman. No score. We'll take a look at the defensive alignment of the River Cats. Gilbert in left, McCray in center. And it's Barry Cotto in right. Kennedy in the hot corner with Basabe at short. Furman, the second baseman. Eldridge at first. It's Jesus Rodriguez behind the dish. Carson Whisenhunt on the bump. Guzman fouls it straight back to the screen, 0-1. 2 for 4 on Wednesday, and Guzman, who lit up the night with a 2-run blast off the scoreboard. Back in game 1 of this series, that gave the Bees the lead for the first time, and they never looked back. The 0-1. Guzman takes low, a ball and a strike. We mentioned Whisenhunt, who dominated Salt Lake hitters last year. The Bees hit just .163 against him. He had an ERA of .140. 1-1. Nibbles low, and the count's at 2 strikes. His first 3 starts against Salt Lake were dominant. 20 combined innings, no earned runs, 23 punch-outs. He allowed just 6 hits. Guzman fouls it about halfway up the screen behind home plate, 2-2. No score, 1 out, bottom of the first. And the Bees finally broke through against him in his 4th outing. Gave up 4 runs in 5 2/3, 9 hits. The problem is the River Cats jumped out to a 12-0 lead that day. And the Bees actually rallied back with 10 unanswered, but fell short 12-10. 2-2 pitch. Guzman, fly ball deep down the right field line, slicing towards the corner, and it is foul. Just wide of the foul pole home run distance as it was out there on the berm. And you knew off the bat it was going to be tough to see that stay inside. But you were hoping, as all of us here in the booth had the body language going. I was checking the flags to see if the wind may be blowing out to left, but it's not. It's a gentle, gentle breeze at all, going out to right field. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And Guzman stays alive as he fouls it back towards the top of the screen. And it bounces back onto the field. We'll do it at 2-2 again. Well, Salt Lake really struggled with his changeup. I mean, it's certainly elite. He had hitters off balance all game, consistently pitching from ahead, and there's just so much to like about what Carson Whisenhunt does. There's a lot to like about what Denzer Guzman does. As Guzman takes inside, a little bit low, and it's 3-2. Count full, bases empty. Corners at medium depth. Guzman takes a called strike 3. Well, that is the work with that changeup of Carson Whisenhunt. And you could see it right away, the timing of Denzer Guzman as he started after it and then held still. And that ball softly made its way in there for the second strikeout already for Whisenhunt. Whisenhunt's first start against the Bees last year, he gave up just 1 hit. Vaughn Grissom takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Nothing for the Bees, nothing for the River Cats. Bottom 1, 2 down. Base is empty. The sun covering half the field here tonight, the shade the rest. Fly ball, right field, softly hit, long run. Barracoto coming in. It's going to drop in for a knock. Well, whether it's hard hit or softly hit, Vaughn Grissom just keeps finding ways to get on base. Vaughn certainly doesn't care about how, just how many. This guy has been red hot since he has joined the Salt Lake Bees. He had a 3-hit day back on July 2nd of 2025. As he had one recently. That's flied out to right and deep. Going back on it is going to be Barracoto to the corner, and that's foul. Well, Guzman just missed one that way, and so did Trey Mancini. But I was talking about a guy in Vaughn Grissom. I mean, what a great performance the other night. And for him to just tear it up like that. Had a 3-hit day, brought in a couple of runs with a double. But it was July 7th of last year that he last had a 3-hit day. He's just been very comfortable here in this rehab assignment. Mancini starts after it, left it down, it's 1-1. Trey Mancini, 1 for 5 with a run batted in this series. It was a pinch hit opportunity for him in the late innings of game 1. He came through with 2 outs. The 1-1. And it's low, 2 balls and a strike. And you see how good Whisenhunt is also at keeping runners on. This lefty who stares over there at Grissom, and Grissom's first move was back as Whisenhunt was dealing towards the plate. Trey Mancini 0 for 3 against Whisenhunt last year. The 2-1. Grounded hard towards the third baseman Kennedy. He has it, takes the short route to second, and the inning is over. No runs. We're back at the ballpark in America First Square. This is where you want to be on Tuesday nights for Homes Family Night. Get 4 tickets for just $40. Bring the whole family to enjoy a night at the ballpark. Get your tickets now for our next Tuesday home game at slbs.com. Well, opening night was a Tuesday night, a great crowd. We expect great crowds on Tuesdays. We hope you're a part of that. Buddy Kennedy leads off the top of the second. Takes a strike from Urania. Urania pitched a 1-2-3 first inning. Boy, Buddy Kennedy there for a while looked like he was never going to get out, ever, in this series. His first 8 plate appearances he reached. And he lines that one deep down the left field side. It's hooking foul and into the angled seats. The count's 0-2. Kennedy was hit by a pitch. Walk was 1 for 4. He has an on-base percentage this year of .550. Batting 7 for 16. Urania, the 0-2. And it's low. A ball and 2 strikes. On Walbert Urania. Talked about him before. He carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning of his final start at AA last year. He was just gathering steam towards the end of the year. 1-2. Started after it, down and away. He held up. And it's 2-2. He had 11 quality starts overall, allowed 2 or fewer runs in 14 starts last season. 2-2. Kennedy takes just low. And I think Rivera was trying to challenge that, and I think Caleb Martin said he was too late. There was a pause there as Rivera was holding. And then he started to tap all of a sudden at the back of his helmet. And Caleb Martin said not quick enough. 3-2 pitch. And Kennedy fouls it just to the right behind home plate. We'll do it at 3 balls and 2 strikes again. Will Brennan on deck. Victor Barricotto is in the hole. The River Cats have not had a ton of power in terms of the home run department. They were the last PCL team to hit a home run. Gavello did that the other night. It's the 3-2, cut on a miss, strike 3. And there is Urania with his second strikeout of the night. 1 down here in the second. Brings up Will Brennan. As the bottom just fell right out of that one. Urania, who racked up 10 strikeouts in his only pitching performance with Salt Lake last year. Will Brennan, 2 for 6, drove in a run back on Wednesday, 3 for 11 in this series. And Brennan takes at the knees for a strike, 0-1. 6 for 20 overall this year. 2 runs driven in. Urania, the 16th prospect in the Angels organization. 0-1, a sky to center field, staring into the sun is Siri. Started in, going back, it's over his head. It'll go to the wall. Hustling towards second is Brennan, and he'll put on the brakes there. A 1-out double for Will Brennan. Well, and the sun can be brutal to deal with in this ballpark. Outfielders have talked about it plenty. And many times they talk about staring into the sun as a challenge, but the other hard part about it is how dark it looks deep at home plate. And so different players, and Bryce Teodosio talked to me about it, they battle between the decision of whether or not to wear the glasses or to go without. Because if you don't, it feels like you're staring in the sun. If you do, it's even darker behind home plate. Pitch is low, ball 1. And that is one feature of this ballpark, as the shadows kind of horseshoe their way out of here. And in the early innings, the center fielder and left fielder will definitely be standing in the sun. Deep in right field, it's the same story. Comes the 1-0 to Barricotto. And that's low, 2-0. Now, last year we saw plenty of moments where center fielders thought they had it, and then suddenly were flinching and the ball would come down. Very few center fielders in this ballpark have played it really well. Nelson Rada, one of those exceptions. Swing and a miss, 2-1. As Rada just kind of had a knack for it. Teodosio played it well while he was here, but he said it is not easy. And it's similar to what we had at Smith's ballpark, oh, that was mostly in left field. 2-1. Softly tapped foul over by the third base on deck circle. Grant McCray will barehand it. And it's 2-2. And so out there we can see Siri wearing the glasses. And as I mentioned, that's what Teodosio talked about. So if you wear the glasses, it's even darker in there, but you can help with the sun. If you don't wear the glasses, now you're fighting the sun. Here comes the 2-2, and before Urania is going to turn around and take a look at Brennan. Brennan returns. No score, top 2, 1 down. First hit of the game to Will Brennan. And that's down. Being the first hit for the River Cats. The River Cats had just 1 extra base hit in game 1. They turned around and had 6 of them in game 2, including 5 doubles. Comes the 3-2 pitch. Check, swing, and it was money. Called strike 3. It has been challenged.
The batter is challenging the call strike.
99 miles an hour on the gun. And it was right at the bottom of the zone. Third strikeout for Urania. And the River Cats are down one of their challenges. Well, that thing was straight heat. You can see it from up here. He pumped it in there at that bottom rail. What a great spot for a 3-2 pitch. And the gun here is revealed at 99. That's a great sign. It's the first pitch low for a ball. Four-seamer just rocked in there. He threw sinker at about 98. His changeup right now so far is coming in actually in the low 90s of all things. He also has great life on that slider as well. No score. Here's the 1-0. McCray softly bounces third base side over by his own dugout. And it's 1-1. Brennan at second, 2 out. No score. McCray 2 for 5, 2 doubles, and drove in 3. On Wednesday, he did something nobody's done. He hit one to the left field wall, and it stuck in the left field wall between the chain link and the padding. The 1-1. McCray takes for called strike 2. Gives a head tilt. May not have agreed with that one. Looked good from here, although I didn't say we have the best angle. He's at the top of the zone. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Check swing in the dirt. Did he go? No! Oh, Rivero thought for sure he went as he was about to tag and get off the field. Every ounce of body language from everybody. They thought that was strike 3. We take a look at the replay. Oh, yeah. McCray doing everything he could to hold up. Count even, 2-2. Score even, 0-0. Top 2, 2 down. McCray swings and misses, strike 3. What an inning for Walbert Urania. 3. Well, join us every Wednesday for Utah Dirty Sodas Wednesday, presented by Swig. Matthew Lugo leads off, takes high for ball 1. Enjoy $3 Swig drinks at the ballpark at America First Square. Get your tickets now at slbs.com. That was a lot of fun the other night. Had the new mascot Swiggy, had the big flag out there as Lugo takes a healthy cut. And he's empty, it's 1-1. The new uniforms and the hats and the logos, and just a lot of great enthusiasm for an alternate identity. 1-1. At the knees for a called strike 1-2. Well, we mentioned last year Wisenhunt, the first appearance he had against the Bees. Shut them down, gave up just one hit. And that one hit was by Matthew Lugo. It was a double. Fouled back behind home plate. Do it again, 1-2. Lugo against the River Cats, hitting .266 against them. 5 doubles, a pair of triples, and 2 home runs. 2 for 5 in this series with the run batted in. Wisenhunt, the lefty, with the 1-2 pitch. Lugo swings and misses, strike 3. That's 3 punch outs now for Carson Wisenhunt. No score, 1 out. Bottom of the second. Now Jose Siri walks to the right-hand batter's box. For more on Carson Wisenhunt, we go to Sammy Miller.
Tony, Carson Wisenhunt incorporated banded exercises into his off-season workouts to strengthen his lower half as he had been sinking into his back hip to create leverage. Now he's standing a bit taller and holding himself over the rubber longer. The key for Carson is if he can use his other pitches to create count leverage, then his changeup could be even deadlier. And he's been using his changeup ever since he was in Little Leagues, as his father wouldn't allow him to throw a curveball or slider. So it's safe to say that he has been very comfortable throwing a changeup and looks to continue to develop his arsenal as well, Tony.
And his dad did it right, you know, for dang sure. And it's interesting you mentioned how good he is with that changeup. That smoked out to left by Siri and right at Gilbert, who will make the catch for out number 2. Well, that series he had against Lugo, 5 straight fastballs. So at any moment you're waiting for it. But you can't sit on it. But then if you're not ready for it, you're frozen solid. The way he uses it, Sammy, his mix of this is just elite. Every time I've had a chance to watch him, it's just so impressive. Because, you know, he'll go with it, and then, you know, he's at 95 and 96, and then all of a sudden that change up at 81, and he dots it. And it's absolutely incredible to watch. 0-1 now on Nick Madrigal. Here comes the pitch. Madrigal check swing, and it was in the zone anyway for a strike. Nick Madrigal 1 for 3 with a walk. On the other side, the changeup for Urania is coming in at about 92 or 91, 92 miles an hour. I had to check that a couple times. Like that was a changeup. Comes the pitch in there for a called strike 3. A helmet tap by Madrigal. On to the 3rd inning here tonight. Don't forget to check out all the theme nights available at slbs.com. Join us, whether it's Princess Night, Country Weekend, all of that and more. Fun giveaways and great entertainment here at the ballpark at America First Square. Go to slbs.com. Well, Slavis Bisabe is going to lead off the top of the third, takes inside for a ball. Bisabe, no stranger to facing up against the Salt Lake Bees. Played against them last year and the year before. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Bisabe, a guy who plays with a ton of heart and a ton of hustle all the time, and always has the back pocket slipped out of the back, so it almost looks like he has gloves dangling out of the back as he takes a strike. But that is like a signature of his. It's almost like the Dusty Baker toothpick. I mean, different players have different things. Well, Slavis Bisabe has his back pocket hanging out. Here's the 1-2. Started after it, held up as it was downstairs. Counts 2-2. Walbert Urania's given up 1 hit. He has 4 strikeouts. On the other side, Carson Wisenhunt is giving up 1 hit. He has 4 strikeouts. You can just feel this pitcher's duel brewing. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, heavy cut. Bisabe, boy, and Urania is cooking here in the early going. Well, Sammy Miller mentioned it during our pregame show as we were discussing this matchup. It was supposed to be Sam Aldeguerri and Carson Wisenhunt yesterday, and I think that would have been a nice pitching matchup as well. But Urania and Wisenhunt every bit as good. Here's Nate Furman, 1 for 3 Wednesday. He was hit by a pitch and he walked. Takes at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Nate Furman has an on-base percentage of .688 so far this year. I know it's early, but that's still impressive. He's walked 6 times, 0-1. Furman takes high, a ball and a strike. The Bees do not have an error in this series. Sacramento has 6. And some strange plays out there. 1-1 pitch. Skips in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. While it is a bit cold outside, it is still a beautiful night out here. The blankets scattered out around the berm. Many people with their hot chocolate out there in the seats. 2-1. Ooh, that got away. Urania had that one go up and outside. Rivera was up to get it. Urania takes an extra second on the back slope of the mound before getting ready for this 3-1 pitch. The beanies are out. The mittens are out. The earmuffs. Here comes the 3-1. Furman takes inside, ball for Urania. Not happy with himself, as he felt like that one got away. So the first free pass issued by Urania, second base runner for the River Cats. We go back to the top of the order. No score, 1 down. Runner at first, Drew Gilbert, the first strikeout victim of Walbert Urania. Infield shifted to the right. Medium depth, more at third, although creeping in a little bit more. Gilbert, first pitch, takes low, ball 1. Guarding the bag at first is Mancini. Shaded towards the second base bag and playing back is the shortstop Guzman. As Moore is almost towards the shortstop area. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. The pitch, a ball. Throw to second on a laser. Sliding in safely is Nate Furman. So Nate Furman picks up the stolen base. And a strong throw there by Rivero, but a great jump at first base by Furman. So he's in scoring position. 1 out, the 2-0. The inside part of the plate at the knees, a strike, and now Gilbert is going to challenge.
Challenging the call strike.
They have 1 left. See how this one turns out, and
Call's overturned.
It was
Sacramento
inside.
has 1 challenge remaining.
Now by 0.9 inches, and Gilbert was very confident about that, and with only 1 challenge left, you have to be very confident. 3 balls, no strikes, and an out. Urania set from the belt. Knee up, foot down, fires, and taking all the way. Gilbert for a strike right at the belt. 3-1. Jesus Rodriguez is on deck. He's had some great contact in this series, although he's only 2 for 11. Left-hand batting, Gilbert ready. Right-hand pitcher, Urania set. 3-1. Line drive out to left center field. Ranging to his left, Meckler. Meckler slows down, makes the face-high catch. Returning back to second base is Furman. Throw goes to the middle of the infield. No, hard hit out to left. Meckler makes the grab. 2 out. Runner at second. Off the bat, it looked like it might be trouble and heading for the gap, but that ball did tail back towards Meckler a little bit. He got a great jump on it and tracked it down. Jesus Rodriguez grounded out to short back in the first inning. Shading the bag at second is Grissom, the second baseman. 2 out, runner at second. Rodriguez watches that go inside, ball 1. And the Bees, the doubleheader tomorrow and the Sunday matinee before they take off for a 6-pack against Reno next week. The 1-0. Rodriguez will take that low, 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch count now at 48 for Urania. Rodriguez 4 for 21 so far on the season with a double and a run batted in. Hits a little flare out towards right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and coming in to score is Furman. It's an RBI single for Jesus Rodriguez. Sacramento on the board first. It's 1-0. Now, very similar to what we watched with Vaughn Grissom's single. That ball just kind of flared out to right and died perfectly. And not only did Lugo have no chance to make the catch, he really had no chance at all to try and get Furman, who was moving on contact. So Rodriguez at first, Bryce Eldridge in the box and takes for a ball. That stolen base was really big by Furman. Got a great jump on it. Was able to beat out what was a strong throw from Rivero. 1-0 Sacramento, top of the third. The lefty Eldridge grounded out softly to Urania back in the first inning. Takes low, 2 balls and no strikes. Eldridge, the #1 prospect in the Giants organization. 2 for 9 in this series. Stands tall in the left-hand batter's box. Here comes the 2-0. Takes a heavy cut, but misses 2 balls and a strike. Wind pushing out towards right field gently. As the flag doing its best Miss America wave. Cold night here in Daybreak. From the set, Urania holds the lead at first from Rodriguez, and the pitch down and away. 3 balls and a strike. And this has been a challenge for Walbert in this third inning, and that is pitching from behind. He got behind against Furman and had a frustrating walk against him, gave up the stolen base, and then the duck snort to Rodriguez. Here's the 3-1. Inside, ball 4, first and second, 2 down. Sebastian Rivero wants time, and he's going to head out to talk to Walbert Urania. Well, we're excited for tomorrow's doubleheader. Don't forget, tomorrow's game, it is R&R Barbecue Smokin' Saturday. Everybody loves a little barbecue. Join us on Saturdays for R&R Smokin' Saturday. Shane Luke's the pitching coach out to talk to Urania. Urania, who struck out 5 of the first 8 that he faced. 3 of the last 4 have reached, 2 by a walk. Sacramento 1, Bees nothing in this top of the third inning. Well, here's Buddy Kennedy. He struck out back in the second inning. Buddy Kennedy and the River Cats have been able to put together some really solid innings during this series, including the 6-pack they had in the 4th just the other night. They really were able to roll it up on Salt Lake and force the Bees to play from behind the entire night. Here comes the pitch to Kennedy. Popped up right side, fouled out of play. As Sacramento led 5-2 in game 1 before the Bees scored those 11 in a row. And for Salt Lake, the 4 they had in the 7th that night were all with 2 outs. And they were able to just put together a collection of hits to get the lead and then take off for a 13-5 win. Pitch is down. And it's 1-2. And then the other night, Sacramento gets up 2-zip. The Bees tie it. Sacramento goes up 5-2. And then in a blink, it was a 10-2 ball game. 1-2, low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It is not a packed crowd on this Friday night. For how cold it is, we thank them for joining us here on this Friday evening. 2-2. Ground ball sharply hit right to the shortstop. Guzman goes down to a knee to get it. Softly tosses to second in time. And the inning is done. But River Cats get on the board. An RBI single, Jesus Rodriguez, as it scored Nate Furman. Sacramento 1, the Bees nothing. We go to the bottom of 3 on the KSL Sports Zone. Oh yeah, bundle up there tonight with the blankets, with the gloves, hot chocolate, whatever it takes. Everybody stay warm out there. Thanks so much for joining us here at the ballpark at America First Square. 8-9-1 hitters due up here in the bottom of the third. Meckler, Rivero, Moore against Carson Wisenhunt. First pitch outside, ball 1. Meckler, the former Sacramento River Cat and San Francisco Giant. 1-0 River Cats in this bottom of 3. Meckler batted .309 in a River Cats uniform, takes at the knees for a strike, and it's 1-1. He hit .354 in 2023. His first series against the Bees in September of that year, he was terrific. Meckler flies it down the left field line. It's out of play, 1-2. My first game with Wade Meckler, he hadn't tripled in forever. I believe it was in over a year or something like that. That night he had 2 triples, and they were bases clearing triples. Changed the entire game, and the River Cats beat the Bees 11-7. 1-2, started after it, left it outside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just continues into the great chapters of these 2 teams. Call it a friendly rivalry, but how tightly it's been played. The 2-2 pitch in there, called strike 3. Wisenhunt is cooking in the first time through this lineup. As that is now strikeout number 5. Now this is just what he does. Dots and spots all night long. Sebastian Rivero, 1 for 2 against Wisenhunt last year. Looking for his first hit of the season. Flies it high, right field deep. Going back, Barracoto backpedaling at the track and crashes into the wall while making the catch for out number 2. Rivero gave it a ride. The ballpark just barely held it, and Barracoto held on. When you saw Barracoto going back, started in a bit, and then all of a sudden he's on this back pedal right up against the wall and made the catch, held on as he was making the catch and contact with the wall at the same time. Christian Moore struck out in the first. Takes first strike, 0-1. Christian Moore was the first Bees player to draw 4 walks in a game since Ryan Noda did that in April last season. The 0-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. The count's now 0-2. One nothing Sacramento, bottom of the 3rd inning. The Bees looking for their 2nd win of the season. And their new manager, Doug Davis, as the 0-2's down and in. A ball and 2 strikes. Carson Wisenhunt, who wore number 88 in the bigs after he was called up. He wanted to wear that number as his dad's football jersey number. Also the year his mom graduated high school. 1-2. Low in the dirt, nearly hit more. And it's 2-2. When Wisenhunt was called up for the first time, his mom called his father 2:30 in the morning. He was in the Philippines, woke him up, told him get to the airport, get on a flight to San Francisco right away. Make his debut against the Pirates at Oracle Park, gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. 2-2. Christian Moore sharply grounds it down the 3rd baseline, foul. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson believes football would have been the other sport he could have played professionally, but the position he'd thrive in is not the one you would expect. Maybe the least expected. Long snapper. That's not a bad call. You can have a long career and a very valued career if you're going to do that. Injury risk is minimal. 2-2, face high inside, look out as he leans back to get out of the way. And the count's full. Patrick Manley had a 16-year career as a long snapper. Now he has an award named after him for the best long snapper in college. 3-2, out on a missed strike 3, and the inning is done. Carson Wisenhunt with a pair of strikeouts in Welcome you back. Don't forget, Thirsty Thursdays come your way every Thursday at the ballpark. $6 beer, $3 sodas. Get your tickets at slbs.com. Don't forget, tomorrow night, concessions will be open for a long time. We have a doubleheader, 4:05 first pitch, game 1, with game 2 coming your way 30 minutes after. 1-0, River Cats lead over the Bees. Will Brennan, the number 5 hitter, leads off the frame. And this top of the 4th, he doubled back in the 2nd inning. And a fun game to watch here so far tonight. Both pitchers with a great start as this is flied out to left field. Coming in, Meckler sprinting, slowing down, staring up, makes the face high trotting catch for out number 1. And so far in this one, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Sacramento, no runs, a hit, and no errors for the Salt Lake Bees. Victor Barracoto struck out in the 2nd inning. So far in this game for Walbert Urania, 3 1/3 innings, just given up a couple of hits and that earned run, walked 2, but he has punched out 5. Barracoto takes at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Well, busy day in the bigs. 11 day games that took place this afternoon. The 0-1. Barracoto started after it, left it down. 1-1. Brewers and the Royals were postponed. They'll play 2 tomorrow. 19-year-old Connor Griffin did not disappoint in his major league debut. I'll tell you about that here in a second. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Oh, a vicious cut. Barracoto came up empty, 1-2. Well, Connor Griffin came through with an RBI double in his first major league at bat. The top prospect in baseball come around to score in the second, and the Pirates jumped ahead of the O's 4-0. The Bucks held on for a 5-4 win. The 1-2 pitch. Down and away. Count even 2 apiece. Rivercats lead 1-0. Top of the 4th here tonight. Series tied 1 game apiece. Rivercats in their orange Friday jerseys. Very much like what you'll see the San Francisco Giants do. Pitches down, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Griffin, by the way, was the first teenager to make his debut at shortstop since Alex Rodriguez did that at 18 years old. I still remember watching Alex at Franklin Quest Field many years ago. Pitch low, ball 4, the 3rd walk of the night for Walbert Urania. 1 out, 1 on. And when watching Alex Rodriguez at Franklin Quest Field all those years ago, the guy next to him in the order was Mike Humphreys, the father of Bees catcher Zach Humphreys. Barracoto at first. Grant McCray, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. Corners in, middle infielders back, and McCray takes face high for ball 1. 5 home runs for the Dodgers today on their way to a 13-6 win against the Nationals. Ohtani with a 3-run blast. Tucker, Betts, Freeman, Pajes also went yard. There's the 1-0 to McCray. Reaching outside Rivero to snap it, and it's 2-0. And after Walbert Urania struck out 5 of the first 8 that he faced, since then, he's given up 3 walks and a single, a stolen base and a run. 2-0. That's low. 3-0. See Walbert Urania having to work hard to get command of the zone again. Shohei Ohtani, back to him quickly. He's now reached base in 38 straight games, going all the way back to last year. 3-0. Cray taking all the way. It's a strike towards the top of the zone. 3-1. Pitch count at 71. So far for Urania. We're in the top of the 4th. Walking to his lead at first base is Barracoto. McCray in the box. Urania checks in. 3-1 pitch. Pumped in, top of the zone, a strike. Tossing the bat was McCray, and then taps the helmet.
Challenging the call strike.
And McCray's taken off the gear. He is very certain this was ball 4, and it was.
Ball's overturned. Sacramento has 1 challenge remaining.
It was too high. Sacramento lost their first challenge tonight, and they've been undefeated since challenging since missing on that first one. Well, back-to-back walks. 4 now over the last 8 batters that Urania has faced. And that's going to do it for Walbert. As he got off to a hot start, he'll exit the game down 1-0 with runners at first and second and 1 down. We'll tell you about the new Bees pitcher when we come back. 1-0 Rivercats on the KSL Sports Center. Taylor Saucedo, the new pitcher, on now for the Salt Lake Bees. They trail 1-0 against the River Cats. Runners at first and second with one down. Saucedo, who pitched against Sacramento in the opener, 1 2/3 innings, gave up a couple of hits, but did not allow a run. Goes with that four-seam fastball at about 93 miles an hour. Changeup, sinker, slider, sweeper. The lefty against Oslavi Spasabe. First pitch, Spasabe puts his arms up as it misses inside for a ball. Oslavi struck out in the top of the third inning. That led off the frame. After that, the River Cats have done a nice job laying off of pitches. They've racked up 4 walks and a knock since then, including a run. 1-0. Basabe smokes it out to left field on a rope. It's a base hit. Rounding third is Barracoto. He's going home. Headed first to third, McCray. Throwing to third, and he's in standing up. RBI single, Oslavi Basabe. It's 2-0 River Cats. He absolutely smashed this ball out into left field. And it got to Meckler in a hurry, but he had too far to go to his right. Smart play by Meckler to go to third on this. And great hustle by McCray going first to third. Well, the River Cats have jumped out in front first in game 1, 2, and now 3. Furman takes for a called strike, 0-1. Furman, who walked, stole second, and scored back in the third. It was a big moment there because the stolen base would end up being so key to bring him in. Fly ball down the left field line. Slicing foul, it's 0-2. Well, timely hitting has been a positive thing for the River Cats in this series. Had it in game 1, they just weren't able to get some of the big swings, like all the extra base hits like they had in game 2. First and third, 1 out, 2-0 River Cats. Here's the 0-2. Froze him on the outside corner, called strike 3. A backwards K as Caleb Martin stood up, and then it looked like he was going to punch him out, but just had a mild delay there. He has been consistent with that. I'm not criticizing him. It just was one where I wasn't quite so sure that he was going to do it. 2 out, first and third. Top of the order, Drew Gilbert. Lefty Saucedo holds. Pitch is cut on a missed, 0-1. Drew Gilbert 0 for 2, struck out in the first, flied out to left in the third inning. Aaron Judge wasted no time today making an impact in the Bronx. Launched a 2-run shot in the first. The Yankees handled the the Marlins 8-2. 0-1. Outside, a ball and a strike. Judge hit 20 home runs in the first inning last year. The Yanks are now 6-1. I mean, the fact that he's good is not a surprise, but I saw that number today. I had to do a double take. Pitch. Just missed high, maybe a bit in. It's 2-1. 6 innings, a 3-hit shutty for Framber Valdez today, as the Tigers shut out the Cardinals 4-zip. And snapped a 4-game skid for Detroit. Oddly, Detroit had a 71-degree home opener, the warmest ever at Comerica Park. 2-1. Popped up foul behind home plate, up towards the premium seating areas. And it's 2-2. McCray at third, Basabe at first. 2-0 River Cats. Top of the 4th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Saucedo kicks and fires. Fly ball, shallow right, going out to second baseman Grissom. He'll call everybody off and make the catch. The inning is done. But the River Cats tack on. Oslavi Basabe out to left field as he would bring in Barrack. Bottom of the fourth inning, 2-0 Sacramento leading over Salt Lake. Well, Sundays are for brunch and baseball. Get your ticket and a full brunch spread for just $48. Join us Sundays right here in April and May for the perfect spring morning at the ballpark. Tickets at slbs.com. Should be a nice Sunday morning and afternoon coming up on Easter Sundays. Guzman leads off the inning, takes low for a ball. It'll be Guzman, Grissom, and Mancini, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters against Carson Whisenhunt, who has had a terrific start to this game. Whisenhunt's allowed a hit, 6 Ks, that's it. Screamer out to left, ranging to his right, Gilbert, and he'll be there to make the catch, 1 down. We'll bring up Vaughn Grissom. So far in this game, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Sacramento. No runs, a hit, no errors for the Bees. The Red Sox ended their 5-game slide. They defeated the San Diego Padres 5-2. Caleb Durbin ended an 0-for-19 start to the season. Mayer and Contreras each homer. First pitch low, ball 1. White Sox walked off the Jays on the south side today. Tristan Peters, the hero in the bottom of the 10th. 5-4 the final there. 1-0. Breaks in there perfectly, just at the belt for a strike. What a perfect mixture of speeds here for Carson Whisenhunt. Count 1-1, the score 2-0. River Cats lead over the Bees. Grissom takes at the knees for a strike, right at that bottom rail of the zone. Whisenhunt at 48 pitches. 7 runs in the first inning today for the Phillies. They dominated the Rockies 10-1. Brandon Marsh, a 454-foot bomb. 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Stevenson clutch today for the Reds with a 2-run 9th inning homer. Cincinnati took out Texas 5-3. Ellie De La Cruz also went deep. Here's Whisenhunt, the 2-2. And misses for ball 3 for now. Challenged by Rodriguez. He was very confident about this one. And for good reason. It did just clip the inside corner. 7th strikeout of the night for Carson Whisenhunt. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom 4, 2-0 River Cats. Guardians beat the Cubs 4-1. Former Salt Lake Bee Connor Brogdon got the win. Nice day in Cleveland, 70 degrees, the warmest March or April game since 1992 for them. That was the first pitch to Trey Mancini. That's high for ball 1. Mancini grounded out to third to close up shop in that first inning. Get to the night games here in just a second. A few other games have now gone to final. Here's the pitch to Mancini. Fly behind home plate. Now to play 1-1 as the Twins were all over the Rays today, 10-4. Mariners and Angels in a delay at the top of the first. Astros at the A's just underway. Ground ball sharply hit, fair down the third base line and headed towards the corner. Rounding first, going to second, Mancini. And deep into that corner is Gilbert as Mancini takes a turnaround second, but will hold up there. The first extra base hit against Whisenhunt tonight. It's a Mancini 2-bagger. And he's in scoring position with 2 down for Matthew Lugo. Oh, it was scalded down that third base line just inside the bag. And it is a long way down there at 345. If you don't get it cleanly and get it out of your hands, that can be a place for a triple, as Bryce Teodosio was common for getting triples down the third base and left field line. Lugo struck out back in the second. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Went off speed right away. Late games tonight. Braves at the Diamondbacks. The Mets at San Francisco. Congratulations to Daniel Susak for his major league start last night. Pitch inside. A ball and a strike. 2-0 Sacramento. Bottom of 4 with 2 down. Susak, the newest member of the Giants, 3 for 3 with a walk. His family going crazy watching his performance. That'll be a special memory for him and for them. We've crossed paths a lot with him during his career while he's been in the PCL. Lugo fouls it straight back to the screen, 1-2. And while we put our focus on the Bees and the Angels organization, you see so many different guys across the league and in all of AAA. And you're rooting for every one of them to be able to live out their dream and to have success when they do. And it's been fun watching the journey of Daniel Susak. Here's the 1-2. Clipped foul as it dribbles up the third baseline. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. 7 punch outs here so far tonight for Carson Wisenhunt. 2-0 River Cats. Mancini at second. Walks out to the lead. Lugo ready. Here's the 1-2. Lugo takes down and in. Before that double, Trey Mancini was 4 for 24 against Sacramento pitching. That includes now 3 doubles and a home run with 6 driven in. A 2-2 to Matthew Lugo. Lugo takes up and away. The count is now full. Jose Siri standing on deck. Wisenhunt was able to flow through the first and the second and the third. He was 2 up, 2 down in the fourth. And now in a battle with a runner at second against Lugo. Wisenhunt checks the rearview mirror. Exhales, 3-2. Popped up foul, right side, and out of play. We'll do it again. You love the great competition in this league. 2 pitchers tonight who have spent time in the major leagues. A guy in Wisenhunt who had a handful of starts there last year. Wisenhunt, the 3-2. Crack bat, little floater out to right, long run. Furman on the chase, leaps up and makes a great running catch to close out the 4th inning. No runs, a hit, no. We're back at the ballpark at America First Square. Shadows have now bathed the entire field. Beautiful sunsets here at the ballpark. Make sure to join us for future games, especially to see some of the major league talent that is out there. That includes Vaughn Grissom, who's here on a rehab assignment. Jesus Rodriguez leads off the top of the 5th, 2-0 Sacramento. Saucedo's first pitch crackles in for a strike. For more on Vaughn Grissom, here's Sammy Miller.
Tony, Vaughn Grissom told me that his wrist is feeling great, and he said he's just so happy to be back on the field playing baseball again. After all, injuries are not only so tough physically, but mentally as well, so it's a dream come true for him to be back on the field with these new teammates that he's really finding some great joy in meeting new people, and of course, he's trying to get his timing back at the plate. The biggest point of emphasis for him is making sure he's on time for every single pitch pitch that he sees. He also said that ever since he was a little kid, his mom would tell him to just be a ball player, meaning to be as versatile as he possibly can, learning all the skill sets. And it's safe to say that Vaughn has done just that, as he can quite literally play all over the infield. He's also eager to really begin this new chapter up in Anaheim with the Angels and is excited to meet all of those guys up there as well. And Tony, if you're wondering, I'm surviving down here, but it's very cold. I hope you're warm and toasty up there.
You know, you keep talking about cold. I feel great up here. I just have a jacket on. Yeah.
Oh, just a nice casual sweater.
It's jacket weather. See, that's just the Southern Californian in there.
I know. The heat warmers, though, they're going to be coming maybe in the 6th inning.
Oh,
Tony.
You know what? You should take this extra pair of gloves. My hands are starting to get toasty up here.
Tony, that would have been good to know pregame, but I'll let you have them up there. It's okay.
Yeah, those of you who get that movie reference, one of my absolute favorites. Great work as always, Sammy. We appreciate it. And you're right, Vaughn has looked great here in the early going as Rodriguez grounded out to third. There's one down. Bryce Eldridge grounded out back to Urania in the first. He walked in the third. One out and nobody on. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Sacramento. 1-2 just missed away, and the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good take there by Eldridge. But the number one thing is, how is Grissom feeling? That's the big thing. And then that timing and that rhythm Sammy talks about is that dribbled foul over by the first base on deck circle. How is he feeling? And then that rhythm, that timing, all of that. He has looked outstanding so far in this series. He has a hit tonight. Playing at second base this evening. That's cut on a miss. Strike 3. Taylor Saucedo came into this game and 2 on and 1 out. Had to try and minimize some of the damage. After the RBI single by Basabe, he has now retired 4 in a row. 2 out, nobody on. Top 5, 2-0 River Cats. Buddy Kennedy watches this low, ball 1. Resetting the defensive alignment for the Bees. Meckler in left, Siri in center. It's Lugo in right. Moore at third with Guzman at short. Grissom, the second baseman. Mancini at first. Rivero behind the dish. Tries to frame that pitch, but it was low. Taylor Saucedo, the lefty on the mound. Saucedo exhales, kicks and fires, and it's up and away. 3-0 the count, 2-0 to score. I'm excited with these two teams battling it out for 24 games over the course of the year. This year, far more spread out in their season. 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way Kennedy, a strike, 3-1. So they'll meet up here again in Salt Lake later this month, right towards the end and then the beginning of May. They'll meet right before the All-Star break and then the start of September. 3-1, swing and a miss. Oh, Saucedo, nice job to battle back here. Count full, bases empty. Fans trying to get behind Saucedo. 3-2. That's low for ball 4. So runner at first. 2 down, Will Brennan, who doubled in the second and was stranded. He flied out to left field in the 4th inning. Well, there was a threat of a no-hitter today. But that threat has now been removed. Jacksonville got a knock. Sugar Land still comfortably in front, 5-0 in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch, squares up, drops it down. A little roller over to the pitcher, Saucedo, and he was unable to handle it. He was going to just simply field and throw to first, and right as he went to collect, it popped out. And so Kennedy is at second and Brennan at first. He put it down. He probably bunted it too hard. Saucedo opened up so he could scoop it with the glove and just make a nice throw to first base. By no means did it seem like he was rushing himself to get to the ball, just on the exchange. First and second, 2 down. Barracoto takes a strike. He walked and scored back in the 4th inning. Gwinnett on top of Round Rock 5-zip, top 7. Top 5, no score, Reno at Albuquerque tonight. The 0-1. Mirakoto watches it low. Counts a ball and a strike. So E1 officially. Kennedy at second, Brennan at first. Here comes the 1-1. At the knees, a strike 1 and 2. Turning away is Mirakoto. I don't know if he didn't like the call or if that's a pitch he thought he should have done more with. Digs in on that back foot, on that back chalk line. The 1-2. Inside. Count even at 2 apiece. Sacramento with 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. They're threatening here in the fifth with 2 down. Saucedo set from the stretch. Checks the rearview mirror. The 2-2. Golfed. Fly. Right field. Coming on Lugo. Oh, he's under it, and he makes the catch. To retire the side. No runs. No hits. We're on to the bottom of the fifth inning, 2-0 Sacramento. Don't forget to stop by the Bees Team Store, whether it's a game day or any day. Go to beesteamstore.com or stop by here at the ballpark at America First Square. Everything you need to rep your favorite local baseball team, that being the Salt Lake Bees, and your Utah Dirty Sodas gear. Minor League Baseball's hottest alternate identity. Go to beesteamstore.com, load up. If you've got it, or if you need it, they've got it. If you don't need it, you've still got it. So go get it at the Bees Team Store. Jose Siri, Nick Madrigal, Wade Meckler, 6-7-8. 2 up against Carson Wisenhunt. Siri takes a hack at one. And around the top of the zone, maybe a little up, 0-1. Siri flied out to left field back in that second. And Wisenhunt, who had a great season last year against the Bees, he's had a great night so far against the Bees. That's scorched down the right field line. It's going to get down and head towards the corner. Deep in the corner is Mirakoto. Hustling to second. Siri now turning and heading for third. Relay. Throw to third. Standing up. 3-bagger. Leadoff triple. Jose Siri. Nice piece of hitting. And what was every bit as impressive is how quickly he gets out of the box and is thinking 3 all the way. He knows he has extra bases, but his jump out of that box to get those first few steps going, and then he checks the rearview mirror and just turns and burns. You love to see players that play this hard all the time, and that's Jose Siri. Here's Nick Madrigal, runner at third, nobody out, and Madrigal takes high for a ball. The Bees with just their 3rd hit of the game. Looking to get their first run of the night. Madrigal struck out in the 2nd inning. Here comes the 1-0. Madrigal fouls it off behind home plate, hit a speaker. Drops down into that second deck. I got to tell you, the fans, it's been a slow start with the glove this year. With their bare hands, they have not been as good so far this year as they were last year. Just not ready for the carom as often. Here comes the 1-1. Madrigal fouls it straight back. It's 1-2. Nick Madrigal, great to see him out there. Pre-game show I had today with Sammy Miller, we talked a lot about just how good it is to see him on the field and playing. Missed the back half of 24, missed all of 25. Corners, medium depth, middle infielders back. The 1-2 from Carson Wisenhunt. And it's up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wisenhunt has allowed just 3 hits. He's not walked anybody. He hasn't given up any runs. He has punched out 7. Here comes pitch number 68 from Carson Wisenhunt. Madrigal flies it to right field on a rope. Back on it, Barricotto. Tagging at third, Siri. Barricotto catches. Here comes Siri. Throw to the plate on a bounce, and he runs through the finish line. Save. Sack 9 and an RBI for Nick Madrigal. The Bees have broken through against Wisenhunt. It's 2-1. Well, and Siri after the triple sets it up. And Madrigal knows, just get it out there. Got a good piece of that one. It just happened to be right in line with Barricotto. So 2-1 ball game, nobody on, 1 out. Here's Wade Meckler. The pitch is high. Meckler struck out back in the 3rd inning. And Meckler is a guy who had played in the Beehive State a little more often in his college career. He was an Oregon State Beaver. Had an amazing journey in college. 1-0. Fouled off behind home plate to the left and out of play. 1-1. He ended his career all Pac-12. If you watched him in his final season, you would think, you know, he was always at that level or threatening that level. No, he was cut several times in the early part of his college career. 1-1, started after it, left it alone. 2 balls and a strike. He was 4'10", 75 pounds in the early part of his high school career. When he finished up with high school, no D1 offers, no D2 offers, just fishing around for any opportunity. 2-1. And it's outside, 3 balls and a strike. Really used some of the time off there with COVID to fine-tune some things with his swing and do a lot of self-examination for his overall game. 3-1. Meckler takes low, ball 4. That is the first walk issued here by Wisenhunt. Meckler aboard for the first time tonight. 2nd walk of the series. Sebastian Rivero hit one deep all the way to the wall back in the 3rd inning. Barricotto made a nice catch and made the catch as he backpedaled into the fence. Took away what would have been a hit, possibly extra bases. A couple of big defensive moments like that one right there, and then closing out the 4th inning, Furman made a nice running catch, the second baseman trotting out into right field. 2-1 River Cats, bottom of the 5th inning. And here is Sebastian Rivero. Sebastian Rivero, 0 for 5 in this series with a walk. The lead at first, Meckler. Wisenhunt deals, and it's low for ball 1. The first 4 innings, dominant. With 7 Ks, gave up just 2 hits, 1 extra base hit. The Bees picked up a run here in this 5th, 1-0. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher, Rodriguez. And moving up to 2nd is Meckler. Go down as a wild pitch. Resetting the defensive alignment, Gilbert in left, McCray in center, Barricotto is in right. Kennedy at 3rd, Basabe at short. Furman at 2nd, Eldridge is at first base. It's Rodriguez behind the dish. Wisenhunt checks the runner at 2nd, the 2-0. Just misses, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Meckler with the oven mitt on the left hand. Walks out to his lead, checks back behind him as Furman shades the bag. The 3-0. Rivero, green light, popped up down the right field line, giving Chase Eldridge the first baseman. Furman, the second baseman, coming over. Nobody gets it. It drops between them for a foul ball. And that is a big missed opportunity for the River Cats. It's not going to go down as an error, but with how long that ball held up in the air, that's a hollow feeling if you're Sacramento not to come up with that. It's 3-1. 3-1 the count, 2-1 the score. River Cats in the lead. The pitch from Wisenhunt. Check swing in there, called strike 2. Rivero was about to head over to first base. Quick conversation with Caleb Martin, the home plate umpire. Well, the River Cats, as I mentioned before, they have 6 errors in this series. The Bees just had their first error of this week. It was back in the top of the 5th. 3-2. Rivero swings and misses on a pitch in the dirt, strike 3. Up with it, Rodriguez, the quick tag, holding at second, Meckler. 2 out. Strikeout number 8 for Wisenhunt. For Wisenhunt, the next pitch will be his 80th. Christian Moore, a pair of strikeouts tonight. He had 4 walks the other night. He has 6 walks overall on the season, 5 in this series. First pitch to Moore. Oh, it's upstairs off the glove of the catcher, Rodriguez, and to the backstop. Going to third is Meckler. So Meckler has moved to second on a wild pitch, moved to third on a wild pitch. Wisenhunt, who has been dominant tonight, has walked a batter in this 5th. A pair of wild pitches. The tying run is at third. Moore is in the box. Here comes the 1-0. Moore scooting back to get out of the way of that. 2-0. Series tied 1-1. Sacramento leads game 3 here tonight, 2-1. Fastball at 93 for Wisenhunt. The 2-0 pitch. Moore takes at the knees for a strike. And it's 2-1. Denzer Guzman is on deck. The Bees trailed 2-0 in game 1. They rallied back to win 2-0 in game 2. They were beaten 10-5. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. They were down 2-0 tonight. They made it 2-1 here in this 5th. Christian Moore with a knock can level this game at 2. Here comes the 3-1. Nice peeps. Christian Moore upstairs, ball 4. He's aboard with a walk. First and third. 2 down. Dave Brundage with the long walk to the mound. That's going to be it for Carson Wisenhunt. And the Bees are going to try to tie and or take the lead when we come back against the bullpen of the River Cats. Wisenhunt still responsible for the runners at the corners. We'll tell you about the new River Cats pitcher when we come back. 2-1 Sacramento, bottom 5 on the KSL Sports Zone. Spencer Bivens on for the Sacramento River Cats. The Salt Lake Bees trail 2-1. Carson Wisenhunt, his night is done, still responsible for Meckler at third and Moore at first. Each of them reached with a base on balls. And Bivens, this is not his first appearance of the series. He's going to try to come in and keep this at a 2-1 lead for the River Cats, and they're having a comms issue as we speak. So while they attend to that, let me let you know that tomorrow night, the doubleheader. Make sure to join us. 4:05 is our first pitch time for game number 1. Tonight, it is coat weather. That's for sure. Sense it looking out there, as it is a cold one. Last night, it was about to be the coldest game as far as first pitch in the history of this ballpark. Now, it's a short history, but it was about to be 38 degrees. It was going to get down to 35. Bivens pitched in the opener, gave up 2 earned runs in his 1 inning of work, including back-to-back home runs in that 4th inning. Pitch low, ball 1. His back-to-back homers were Cavadas and Siri. Denzer Guzman gave the Bees the lead for the first time that night. He had a 2-run shot in the 7th. Runners at the corners. 2 down. Here comes the 1-0 from Bivens. That's high and foul to the right side. We'll do it at 1-1. Bivens takes over for Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt was so dominant through the first 4, and the wheels have wobbled for him in the 5th as he exits. Pitch downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Two won the count, 2-1 the score. It's the River Cats in the lead. Bivens deals. Guzman takes a heavy cut, but he misses. And it's 2-2. Last year, Bivens made his first career opening day roster. Was the lone member of the Giants bullpen, one of the 3 pitchers to remain on the active Major League roster all season. Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, the other 2. The 2-2 pitch. Long hold Bivens. Guzman takes inside, almost hit him, popped in and out of the glove of Rodriguez. The count is full. It'll be a head start at first base for Christian Moore. He was perfect in his save opportunities. This is not a save situation, but an important inning to get out of here with the lead. The runner at first, Moore, takes off. The 3-2. Check swing, started after it slightly, takes inside, ball 4. And Guzman aboard. That is the 3rd walk by Sacramento pitching in this 5th inning. The bases are loaded, and all 3 runners that are on reached with a free pass. And here comes Vaughn Grissom. Sammy had the report on him earlier tonight. This is a guy who has shined in a Bees uniform in the short time that he's been here. A dangerous hitter. First pitch. Grissom takes a good cut, but tops it, grounds it foul off the 3rd base dugout. 0-1. Vaughn Grissom, who had a double the other night, 3 hits. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and struck out. The 0-1. Grissom takes for called, strike 2. Meckler at 3rd. Moore is at 2nd. Guzman at 1st. Runners with their leads. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 2-1 Sacramento. Bivens fires. Ground ball back to Bivens. He barehands it, knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first in time. The inning is over, but the Bees get a run. They do it on 1 hit, a leadoff triple from Jose Siri. And that sets up the sacrifice fly for Nick Madrigal. It's 2-1 River Cats. The Bees have cut the deficit in half. We go to the 6th on the KSL Sports Zone. Good ball game tonight, 2-1. Sacramento leads over the Bees. Make sure to join the Hive with us and be a Bees fan insider. Join the Hive for all Bees happenings and special offers now. For a limited time, you'll receive a free Bees game ticket when you sign up. You can sign up at slbees.com under the heading Bees newsletter. First pitch, a strike, 0-1 to Grant McCray. Next pitch misses away, and it's 1-1. 2-1, Sacramento on top. As the Bees got on the board in the bottom of the fifth inning. Grant McCray walked back in the fourth inning, was stranded. In at third is Moore. The pitch is up, starting after it slightly was McCray. New pitcher for the Salt Lake Bees, it is Dylan Phillips, who takes over for Saucedo. Saucedo did a really nice job coming on in relief for Urania. Pitch inside, is scooting back to get out of the way of it was McCray. Urania left with a couple of runners on and one out, and the Bees were already down 1-0. Saucedo went 1 2/3, gave up a hit, walked one, struck out two. 3-1 is outside, ball four. And Phillips walks McCray. And the Bees pitching staff had some trouble with that the other night. They hit 4 batters and they walked 5 batters. Tonight, they've already allowed 6 free passes. That is not a good sign. Here's Oslavis Bisabe. He tattooed a ball to left field to bring in a run. His last time up, he's 1 for 2. River Cats lead 2-1. Top of the 6th. That pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Phillips, the third pitcher employed by the Salt Lake Bees tonight. Game 3 out of 6. Basabe left that up, and it's with 1-1. Sidestepping to his lead at first is McCray. Phillips throws over there and back over there, standing up is Grant McCray. McCray had some great moments in a Sacramento uniform, great moments against the Bees and in this ballpark and even in this series. Basabe, longtime Sacramento River Cat. High bouncer on one hop, goes to the third baseman Moore, quickly to second for one. Grissom to first, nice stretch Mancini, they got them both. 5-4-3, they roll them up. And excellent work by Moore to get to it quickly, had his feet set. Made a great throw to second base. He got it out of his hand so quickly. Grissom with a nice turn and toss. And Mancini, who made a great stretch at first, and the throw may have just been good enough anyway, but you could see Mancini time that perfectly. How tall and long he is, that's a big benefit. Nate Furman fouls it off left side just by the on-deck batter, Drew Gilbert, 0-1. Furman walked, stole a base, and scored. He also struck out. Dylan Phillips faced Sacramento last year in May as a member of the Bees. 2 innings of work, gave up a run. Softly bounced past the pitcher Phillips, charging Grissom, has it, throws to first. Mancini stretches again, and the inning is over. Fine glove work from the infielders of the Salt Lake Bees in the 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Sacramento leads 2-1 on the KSL Sports Zone. Well, make sure to follow us on social media at Salt Lake Bees for the latest insights, stories, great ticket offers, and more. At Salt Lake Bees is the place to go to follow your favorite minor league team on social media. Start interacting with us day in and day out and enjoy the coverage all season long. First pitch, a strike to Trey Mancini. Bees down 2-1, bottom of the 6th inning. Spencer Bivens, who came on to close out the 5th inning, and he made sure Sacramento was able to hang on to that 1-run lead as the 0-1 breaks outside, a ball and a strike. A big final out there for Bivens as the bases were loaded with 2 down, and he was able to get Grissom to ground out to him, although he hit it hard. And he was able to knock it down. 1-1 at the knees, a strike, 1-2. Trey Mancini, the newcomer of this team, has played well historically in this ballpark, especially as a visiting member of the Reno Aces during the first homestand of last year. The 1-2. Mancini flies it down the right side. It's headed for Souvenir City as everybody gets up, and it lands in an empty row. 1-2. Trey Mancini, the American League Comeback Player of the Year back in 2021. I mean, everywhere he goes, he becomes a fan favorite in a hurry. There's the 1-2. Hit hard back towards the middle. The second baseman, Furman, a step to his left to get it. Throws to first in time. 1 down. Furman was playing in the stretch, closer to the bag. Brings up Matthew Lugo. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He was talking about Mancini and how quickly he becomes a fan favorite. You know, he was so embraced there in Baltimore with all of his work with so many children, especially Mo Gaba, as that was a huge story while he was there. Lugo started after it gently, but by no chance did he go. They appeal anyway as the pitch was up and in, ball 1. Trey Mancini has always been a great representation of the game of baseball and for any team he plays for. 1-0. Good cut, but fouls it to the right side, not a play. And it's 1-1. Matthew Lugo. He's coming off of his time in the World Baseball Classic. He talked about that experience. Boy, he lit up when I asked him about it. 1-1. Looping liner out to center field, a base hit. Matthew Lugo, his first hit of the night. He's aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. He's down 2-1. Lugo had kind of a flare out towards right field, and Furman made a great chase down catch to end that inning. That was in the 4th, and it took away a run. This time, it's out of the reach of Basabe at short. Well, Jose Siri really got this crowd on its feet with a triple to lead off the 5th inning. He would come in to score. Siri takes on the inside corner, a strike. That home run he had in game 1 of this series. Well, he was able to turn on that ball, and how quickly he was able to get his hands inside and just yank that thing out of here over the left field wall. Hard hit ground ball through the hole, right side, base hit. Rounding second, going to third is Lugo. Up with it, Barracoto. He'll throw it into second. They're on the corners now with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Second hit of the night for Jose Siri. He is really fun to watch. Following his career, you always appreciate his talent, but to see him in person is really special. I mean, his explosive abilities with the power hitting, but also his base running, how fast he is, that's been fun to watch. When he had that triple earlier tonight, just all heart, all hustle, all the time. And worth the price of admission. Nick Madrigal, a sac fly and an RBI in the 5th. Tying run at third, 1 out. 2-1 Rivercats. Madrigal starts after it gently. The pitch is inside. They appeal the swing. He didn't go. 1-0. Talk about a special talent, Nick Madrigal. Explosive and so fun to watch in the earlier parts of his career. Now coming off a couple of injury years. 1-0, fly ball, right field again. Drifted back, Barracoto again. He makes the catch. Tagging at third, Lugo. He's going to come in to score. Tagging at first, going to second is Siri. We're tied up at 2. Here in the bottom of the 6th, another sac fly for Madrigal. Well, if you get a guy at third base with 1 out and you do what it takes to get him in, that's good baseball. Madrigal twice tonight just simply putting the ball in play to the outfield to make sure they get a run. And back to Siri and his hustle and his heart and his effort. Great read by him to tag at first and be absolutely certain you're going to get to second, because that would be a timing play over there at second base as Lugo was coming home. And so it'll be an intentional walk of Wade Meckler. It's going to bring up Sebastian Rivera. Well, this would be a great time for the first hit of the season for Sebastian Rivera. 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch. Rivera grounds it sharply right to the shortstop Basabe. The toss across to first is in time. The inning is done, but the game is now tied. We're even up 2-2, the Bees and the River Cats, as Siri continues to swing a hot bat, and Nick Madrigal does a great job bringing in Matthew Lugo. He has both RBI tonight. Well, fetch some unforgettable moments at Bark in the Park. Bring your dog to the ballpark at America First Square for a day of Salt Lake Bees baseball. It's positively perfect for the timing at the ballpark. And no, I didn't write this script, but a great play on words. For you and your furry friend, learn more. Grab your tickets today at slbees.com. Well done, team. The blankets are on the berm. The blankets are all over the place, whether you're in the seats or anywhere. Stay warm tonight. 2-2 ball game. Top of the order, Drew Gilbert takes a strike 0-1. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Phillips out there for a second inning of work. He faced the minimum 3 in the 6th. Did a really nice job after the leadoff walk to induce the double play. Ground out to second to close out that 6th. Pitch inside for a ball. These two teams no stranger to a great series and a great game. Doesn't matter the temperature, the weather. You'll always be entertained when it's the Bees and the River Cats. Drew Gilbert looking for his first hit of the series. 1-1, squares up, pulls back, and it's outside. Jesus Rodriguez on deck. He's 1 for 3, drove in a run. Phillips, the lefty from the stretch, although nobody on. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Counted 3 balls and a strike. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Sacramento. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Bees. The River Cats haven't had a hit since that RBI single by Basabe to bring in a run in the fourth. 3-1 at the knees, a strike. As Gilbert was about to take off for first base, Caleb Martin said, "Not so fast." He'll regrip the gloves and step back in. Infield playing back, shifted to the right. The 3-2. Line drive, center field. It's down for a base hit. Drew Gilbert with his first hit of the night and of the series, a leadoff knock at the top of the seventh. For more on tonight's game, let's go to Sammy Miller.
Now, Tony, in our pregame show, I asked you who you thought would have a big night, and you said Nick Madrigal. And look at that, already with those 2 sac flies. So first off, I wanted to give you your flowers. And secondly, this performance truly shows how unselfish he is. He's focused on playing team baseball, capitalizing with runners on. And Tony, you felt it all along.
I had a good feeling about him tonight. No, you're right. And here's Jesus Rodriguez, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Takes for a ball, but as we talked about Madrigal, I mean, watching him work behind the scenes is very impressive. I mean, this is a guy who has worked so hard just to get back out there. You miss an entire back half of 24, all of 25, and you were talking about it earlier, Sammy, the mental aspect of coming back from injury, not just physical, as that's laced out to left. Coming on is Meckler and makes a running catch. Scampering back to first is Gilbert. Meckler with some good hustle out there in left field tonight. Now, watching a player work their way back when you're gone for so long, and it's one thing to start to feel better, it's another way to start to feel more like yourself. And so great to see Madrigal tonight with a couple of moments where he's able to get an opportunity and bring in a couple of runs. Gilbert at first, Eldridge in the box. Eldridge takes up for a ball. Nice Eldridge, who reached on a walk back in the third inning. 2-2 ball game, top 7. The 1-0. Off speed, foul tipped into the glove. Rivero squeezes, and it's 1-1. Bryce Eldridge coming into tonight, batted .370 against the Bees. 4 doubles, a home run, 5 runs batted in. 1-1 outside. 2 balls and a strike. Eldridge, the number 2 first baseman in all of minor league baseball. Made his major league debut mid-September last year. The youngest Giant to start his career since Madison Bumgarner. At the knees, a strike. 2-2. We saw him in the PCL for a little while. One of the most incredible pitchers would ever have a chance to see up close. And obviously what he did at the major league level was tremendous. In the 2014 World Series, all Giants fans out there will remember that forever. Eldridge, foul tipped into the glove, strike 3. Nice squeeze, Rivero. And a big punch out for Phillips. 2 out runner at first. We're in the top of the 7th in a 2-2 ball game. There's Buddy Kennedy. Kennedy 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Lead at first, Gilbert. Big hole right side. Pitch snaps in for a strike. 0-1. Buddy Kennedy, who played with the Phillies, the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers last year. International Player of the Month back in May. Kennedy takes outside for a ball. 1-1. His name, Clifton Lewis Kennedy III. A great start to the series, a great start to the season. Infield shifted left. 1-1. Kennedy takes over the inside corner for a strike. For that first night of this series, it was just incredible. He was 4 for 4, reached base 5 times, scored twice, doubled, drove in a run. He did it all. Phillips with the 1-2. And it nibbles away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will Brennan on deck. Phillips, rock steady, exhales, kicks, deals. Popped up, foul behind home plate, now to play. Well, these 2 starting pitchers, we were expecting a lower scoring game, and that's what we've had. Although I would say both pitchers chased a little earlier than I thought. Wisenhunt was cruising there through 4, ran into trouble in the 5th. Urania looked outstanding in the early few innings, and he left in the 3rd, rather in the 4th. 2-2, outside. And the count is full. Head start over there at first for Drew Gilbert. But both Wisenhunt and Urania showed at different moments tonight just how explosive they can be. The Bees offense able to pick up recently. 2-2 ball game, top 7. Throw over to first. Back in standing up Gilbert. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, Sacramento. The Bees, 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error. Sidestepping to his lead at first, Gilbert. Holding is Phillips, and the pitch. Runner goes, and it's lined through the coach's box, third base side foul. We'll do it again. Coming up for the Bees in the bottom of the 7th. They'll be back to the top of the order with Moore, Guzman, and Grissom. Phillips at 30 pitches in relief. Allowed the leadoff man to get on in the 6th, got out of it. Allowed the leadoff man to get on here in the 7th. He's 1 strike away. 3-2, caught on a miss, strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Phillips. He finished the 6th with a flex. He does the same thing in the 7th. They're stretching at the ballpark at America First Square. We have a 2-2 game on the KSL Sports Zone. Well, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Those fans, they knew the assignment. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 2-2 ball game between the Salt Lake Bees and the Sacramento River Cats. Braxton Roxby, 6'3" right-hander from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, coming on now for the River Cats. You are going to love your nights here at the ballpark at America First Square. Tonight, colder than most, but it's always a good time. Roxby comes in, first pitch down and away, ball 1. Third pitcher employed as he takes over for Spencer Bivens. I'll give you his final line in just a moment. Top of the order, Christian Moore, Denzer Guzman, Vaughn Grissom. Roxby rocks and fires, and it's outside. Or she missed in maybe. It's now 2-0. The way he was set up One in the third, one in the fourth for Sacramento, one in the fifth, one in the sixth for Salt Lake. Roxby holds for the chest and deals. Moore swings and misses. Count 2-1. Christian Moore struck out in the first and the third, walked in the fifth inning. Comes Roxby with the 2-1 pitch. Knee high, called, strike two. Well, tonight for the River Cats, Whisenhunt 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, it was earned. Walked 2, struck out 8, and looked untouchable there through the first 4 innings. Bivens 1 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, it was earned. Walked 2. Pitch. Softly grounded towards the first baseman Eldridge, well off the bag, underhands to a running and covering Roxby for out number 1. Well played there by Eldridge as he angles back inward when he fields it, and Roxby off the bump in a hurry to get over there. You can't flinch for a moment or be late heading over to first with Christian Moore running up the line. Especially when a new pitcher comes in like that. The first hitter ends up hitting something soft to the right side. Even just a moment when it comes to a loss of concentration can make the difference between a batter runner being safe or out. First pitch low, ball 1 to Guzman. 0 for 2, he walked back in the 5th inning. The Bees with each run scored on a Nick Madrigal sacrifice fly. 1-0. Oh, Guzman went fishing, down and away, swing and a miss. And it's a ball and a strike. The River Cats tonight, a Jesus Rodriguez RBI single in the 3rd. And Oslevi Spasabe RBI knock in the 4th. The 1-1. Guzman swings and misses 1 and 2. And Roxby will try to keep this at a 2-2 ball game. Roxby fires low, and it's 2-2. For Roxby, who pitched with Sacramento last year, 2-2 with a 5.91. He's over the course of 23 games. He's had 2 with the River Cats so far this year. Down and away. The count's 3-2. Well, he got the win in that 11-inning game against the Chihuahuas, as that was back on Sunday. Great work by Sacramento. They took 2 out of 3. They had a couple of walk-off winners. But he pitched a 1-2-3 inning with a pair of strikeouts. Huge in extra innings, especially with a runner at second base. Pitch low, ball 4. And Guzman is aboard, and Guzman, who started that plate appearance, one with a really rough swing and a miss, and then another one where he expanded again and got down to the zone, kept battling, earns the free pass. Now here comes Vaughn Grissom. Excuse me, the Bees have gone to the bench. It'll be Donovan Walton. This is down and in, and it hit him. So Walton is now aboard. So first and second. And 1 out. So Donovan Walton, the former River Cat, is now over there at first base. At second, Denzer Guzman. Cleanup hitter, Trey Mancini. 2 on, 1 out, 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 7th. Mancini takes first strike, 0-1. Mancini doubled back in the 4th. He was stranded. Trey Mancini, who certainly looked like an MVP candidate in the first half of last year. Down and away, 74 games with the Reno Aces. Just played really well in the meat of that order. And obviously we've documented how well he played at this ballpark. 1-1. Mancini takes down and away. It gets away from Rodriguez as it squirts to the backstop. Runners move up to second and third. And so now the go-ahead run 90 feet away. First base is open. Mancini is dangerous. Lugo on deck. Two balls, one strike, and one out. Infield, in on the edge of the grass. Mancini started after it slightly. Pitch down, 3-1. Mancini, a guy who had 35 home runs with Baltimore in 2019. He drove in 97. He was once a leadoff guy in his major league career. He had 24 home runs back in 2018. The 3-1. Mancini takes ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Well, here comes Matthew Lugo. Lugo 1 for 3 tonight. He scored the tying run back in the 6th inning. The Bees, who were down in game 1, rallied back to score 11 unanswered, running through the finish line with an 8-run victory, 13-5. They dug too big of a hole in game 2. Tonight, down 2-zip. They've only had 5 hits, but they've been able to do the little things, getting a key extra base hit here and there, sac flies to bring in their 2 runs. Now it'd be a great time for Lugo to grip and rip and put up a crooked number here in the bottom of the 7th. Lugo with 28 doubles last year. What a great breakout season for him. Made his major league debut. Made his opportunities count. First pitch. Lugo takes low, ball 1. Prided himself on improving as an outfielder. Wanted to be more versatile in that way. Improved immensely as the season moved on. His first game as a member of the Bees, and a multi-hit performance, and a homer. And ever since then, he's made himself right at home in a Bees uniform. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 7th, one down. Lugo takes down and away, backhand stop Rodriguez. The Bees have loaded the bases. They've done all of this without a hit. Middle infielders, medium depth, pinch towards the second base bag. Corners in. The 2-0. Lugo lunges down, bounces it fouls, goes over by the third base coach. Manager of the Bees, Doug Davis. Counts 2-1. Matthew Lugo, the nephew of Carlos Beltran. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. In the dirt, 3 balls and a strike. Roxby was able to retire Christian Moore. He was ahead in the count on Guzman. Guzman battled back, was able to draw a walk. He hit Donovan Walton. He walked Trey Mancini. 1 wide, 1 away now from forcing in a run. 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Hustling back to get it to Rodriguez, but it pushes in the run anyway. Bees lead 3-2. As Roxby has struggled throwing strikes in this bottom of the 7th. 3 walks and a hit batter. Been amazing tonight is the highlights for the Bees runs. 2 sac flies and a walk to bring in a run. Here is Jose Siri, and this guy is nothing to mess with. 2 for 3 tonight, a triple, a run scored, and nowhere to put him. 3-2 Bees, bottom of the 7th. The pitch, low for a ball. Boy, and as much as I would love to see Siri hit one off the scoreboard here, you have to remember Roxby is really struggling to throw strikes. You don't want to do him any favors. The 1-0, Siri takes down. Amazingly, and I did this on my iPad, but I forgot to do it on my phone, is to turn Siri off. So every time I mention his name, my phone has the circle at the bottom. Here comes the 2-0. Siri takes at the knees for a strike. And my phone continues to wonder what it is I'm asking about. Walton at third, Mancini at second, Lugo at first. The 2-1. Siri takes at the knees a strike. It looked down. He taps his helmet.
Challenging the call strike.
He's going to challenge it. We look at the replay. It said it was low. 3-1.
One challenge remaining.
And if you're Jose Siri, pick a spot and rip. Runners with their leads. 3-2 Bs, bases loaded, 1 out, bottom 7. Roxby looking in, fires. Siri takes inside, ball 4, another run. It's 4-2. Siri on my phone said, sorry, I don't understand. And the Bees, they understand. They have a 2-run lead. Four walks, a hit by pitch. All here in this 7th inning. Well, Nick Madrigal has had a good night. He's 0 for 1, 2 runs batted in. Pair of sac flies, 1 to get the Bees on the board, 1 to tie it up. A tough night for Roxby, as he'll be taken out of the game. The base is loaded. I'll tell you about the new River Cats pitcher when we come back. 4-2 Salt Lake, bottom of the 7th on the KSL Sports Zone. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Bees, who trailed 2-0 earlier tonight, now lead 4-2. They have the bases loaded with 1 out. Roxby out of the game, but still responsible for the runners out there on the base paths. It is Gregory Santos now on for the Sacramento River Cats. Sacramento has walked 8 hitters so far tonight, 4 of them in the 7th inning. And a hit batter as well. The Bees without a hit in the frame and have scored 2 runs. For Santos, his 2nd appearance of the year. The last time he was out there was opening night. Or excuse me, on Sunday. He pitched 2 innings. First pitch high to Madrigal, 0-1. It was on Sunday in that walk-off win. He had 2 scoreless innings, the 9th and the 10th, walked 1, that's it. Nick Madrigal has been great tonight, bringing in a couple runs. Madrigal, hard hit, left side, backhand stop to shortstop Asame. Throws to second, and it's bobbled. Everybody's safe. It's 5-2 Salt Lake. And for the River Cats, this 7th inning just continues to get worse. This was hard hit, Basabe on the backhand stop. If it's a good throw, they get 1 and maybe 2. But on the pick, it was Furman who had to pick it out of the ground but wasn't able to do it on the exchange. Meckler takes outside for a ball. He's picking it out of the dirt and it just bounced in and out of his glove. Meckler has walked twice tonight. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. They give Madrigal an infield single there, and he has 3 runs batted in. 2-0. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Five-2 Bs, bottom of the 7th inning. Santos deals. Taking all the way Meckler, it's a strike. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Sacramento. 5 runs, 6 hits and an error for the Bees. 3-1. Line to the opposite field foul. Off the netting above the Sacramento dugout. Do it with a full count. Lugo is at third. Siri at second. Madrigal at first. The full count pitch to Meckler. Inside, ball 4, and the former River Cat walks again. 3rd time tonight. That is the 5th walk of this inning, and the 9th issued by Sacramento pitching. 6-2 Bees. All of this with just 1 hit in the inning. Sebastian Rivero with the bases loaded, 1 down. Rivero takes up and in. Almost got him in the shoulder as he twists inward. 1-0. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Looking for his first hit of the 26th season. Takes on the inside part of the plate, a strike. It's 1-1. Well, walks have been a problem, both staffs so far in the series. There's the 1-1. Heavy cut, but Rivero comes up empty, 1-2. The Bees have issued 5 free passes tonight. Sacramento, 9 walks, and they've hit a batter. The Bees with 4 in the bottom of the 7th. And 4 in that 7th inning back on Tuesday. There's the 1-2. Rivero, high bouncer towards the second baseman, Furman. He flips over to second for 1. Basabe to first. A double play. 4-6-3. They get the twin killing to end the inning. However, a rash of Caleb Ord, the new pitcher on for the Salt Lake Bees. Fourth pitcher employed tonight. Salt Lake with 6 unanswered, and they lead 6-2 as we go to the 8th. Will Brennan, Victor Barracoto, Grant McCray, 5, 6, 7 hitters against Caleb Ord. First pitch, and it misses inside for a ball. Caleb Ord, 6'4" right-hander from Grand Rapids, Michigan. With the Houston Astros last year and also the Sugar Land Space Cowboys. Holds from the stretch, nobody on. Here comes the 1-0. Brennan takes for a strike, 1-1. Will Brennan, 1 for 3 tonight. Double in the second, flight out to left in the fourth. Reached on an error in the 5th inning. Ort exhales. Here's the 1-1. High bouncer back towards the middle behind the second base bag. Guzman, the shortstop, ranges to the other side of the street and throws a dart to first in time. 1 out. Well, Caleb Ort, the first 3 years of his major league career with the Red Sox. 2-2 last year with Houston, an ERA of .489. His major league career, 5-7 overall. He pitched against the Bees last year, his second performance ever with Sugar Land. Pitch high for a ball, 1-0. Victor Barracoto, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in the 4th inning. Ord pitched a spotless 6th inning against the Bees. 2 nights later, a scoreless and hitless 8th and 9th. The Space Cowboys swept Salt Lake. The Bees have struggled playing there deep in the heart of Texas. 1-0. Just misses as it was towards the bottom outside part of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Ort, the former Joliet Slammer. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Barracoto took a heavy hack at that one. Barracoto and the River Cats had a 2-0 lead tonight. Now they trail 6-2. Which misses down, and the count's now 3 balls and a strike. Taking a look at the final line this evening for Phillips. 2 innings of work, 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 2. He allowed the leadoff hitter on. Barracoto takes for a strike around the top of the zone, 3-2. But Phillips allowed the leadoff hitter on. McCray walked him in the 6th, got a double play and faced the minimum 3. Drew Gilbert had a leadoff single on him in the 7th. He retired the next 3 and finished with a pair of strikeouts. Here's the 3-2 to Barracoto. And it looked like it may have missed inside, or did it? Rivero challenges. He thought that hit the zone. Everybody looks at the review. It was down. So it was on the inside part of the plate, but just barely beneath the strike zone. 0.2 inches. Well, and when you watch an umpire make a call that close, and the catcher thought it hit the zone, but by 0.2 inches, it's showing that these home plate umpires are really good, because when they miss, they barely miss. And many times when a catcher misses, they barely miss. They have the best view. But even then, we're still dealing with the naked eye. Grant McCray. Inside ball 1. Grant McCray, who has walked twice tonight. Salt Lake pitching has issued 7 walks this evening. The River Cats have allowed 9. They also hit a batter. Pitch is cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And also, I mentioned the 9 walks. Meckler, who was intentionally walked. Infield shifted right. 6-2 Bees, top of the 8th. As that softly bounced back towards the pitcher, Ort, he turns and couldn't handle it. That is twice tonight. The Bees have ended up with an error, and both times E1. Ort was hopping off the mound. There was a chance for sure to get the leadoff man. For sure they get the guy at first. Plenty of time. I think if Ort could do that one again, he would realize he had more time than maybe he originally thought. Well, the effort's certainly there, but runners at first and second with one out. Here's Oslavy Spasabe, 1 for 3, with a run batted in. Ort holds and deals. Spasabe swings and misses 0-1. Certain players, whether they're on the team you cover or the team you don't, you really enjoy watching. Oslavy Spasabe is one of those guys. There's plenty of guys in the league that are that way. Spasabe, right-hand batter ready. Ort fires. This is popped up right side. It's going to go out of play. Count 0-2. Oslavy Spasabe spent all of last season at AAA here in Sacramento with the River Cats. 24 doubles, that led the team in that category. The 0-2. Spasabe lines it down the left field side. It's going to get down and head for the corner. Barracoto's going to trot in to score. McCray hustling right behind him. 2-run double, Oslavy Spasabe. He has 3 runs batted in tonight, and he's cut the deficit to 6-4. Well, he had 24 doubles last year. Steps up with his team down 4. Smokes that down the left field line. It lands inside the chalk. It was extra bases for sure. Great jump by McCray over there at first, as he was able to score all the way from first base. So after a walk, an error, and a double, it's 6-4. Furman back up the middle and through, past a diving Grissom into center field. Spasabe rounding third. He's going to come in to score. RBI single Nate Furman, and the River Cats have made it 6-5. Well, the bottom of the order able to put some pressure on the Salt Lake Bees. And what was tough for Ort, and I know he's frustrated at himself, that the error on the softball hit right back to him. And he wasn't able to quite handle it. This one wasn't hit all that hard, but it just kept running away from Grissom, who was going after it with everything he had. Rather, Walton at second base, excuse me. Runner at first, 1 out. 6-5 the score. Drew Gilbert, top of the order, takes up for ball 1. Gilbert 1 for 4 tonight, singled in the 7th. The Bees had a 6-2 lead. It's down to 6-5. Check swing in the zone anyway. 1-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Sacramento. The Bees, 6 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. Coming into tonight, the Bees did not have an error in this series, and the River Cats had all 6 of them in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher, Rivera. Counts 2-1. Jesus Rodriguez on deck, 1 for 4. Bryce Eldridge, an explosive talent, 0 for 3 tonight. 2-1. Low. 3 balls and a strike. And the inning started with a nice defensive play by Guzman. At short. Went to the other side of second base to retire Brennan. Barracoto walked, and Grant McCray hit a soft one up the middle to the pitcher Ort. 3-1. That's low. Ball 4. And runners at first and second with 1 out. When the error happened, could feel a little bit of trouble looming at that moment. And Basabe's 2-run double certainly changed the vibe in the ballpark. Furman's RBI single made it 6-5. And the Salt Lake Bees holding to a 1-run lead in this top of the 8th, meeting at the mound right now. And what a great challenge here for Ort, you know, to reset. You have runners at first and second, a 1-run lead. Show if you can dig down deep, find a way to get a key couple of outs, and get out of here with a 1-run lead. Jesus Rodriguez, an RBI single in the third. He's 1 for 4. The lead at second is Nate Furman. Drew Gilbert is at first base. 6-5, Salt Lake. Swing and a miss on a check swing where he pretty much went all the way around as Rodriguez was chasing. Rodriguez with a twisting stance as a right-hand batter. Ort holds from the chest. Checks the runner behind him, deals. Rivero reaches down to get it. It's low, 1-1. The next pitch will be the 25th of this inning for Ort. Ort holding from the chest, fires again. Check swing again. This is fouled off. As the batter, Rodriguez, got a piece of it. We'll do it at 1-2. The Bees in the bottom half of the 8th. Well, the top of the order due up. And that was promising in the 7th. 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th for Salt Lake, 3 in this top of the 8th for Sacramento. The 1-2. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down. Bees clinging to a 6-5 lead. They were down 2-zip. They scored 6 unanswered. Sacramento has played at 3 in this 8th. The 2-2 to Rodriguez. Line drive right field coming on Lugo. Puts on the brakes and makes the catch. Runners return. Boy, Rodriguez smoked that. And he's had a few of those throughout this series where he has tattooed a ball and has been right at somebody, or somebody has made a nice play. And Lugo was coming in. Actually made more of a knee-high catch, reaching to his left to finish that play. That's going to be all for Ort. He's still responsible for runners at first and second. We'll tell you about the new Bees pitcher when we come back, as the Bees clinging to a 6-5 lead. Top of the 8th, 2 down. It'll be Jose Fermin coming on for the Bees when we come back on the KSL Sports Zone. Top of the 8th inning, 2 down. The Salt Lake Bees holding to a 6-5 lead. Runners at first and second for the River Cats. It's Jose Fermin on for the Salt Lake Bees. as he was able to pitch a scoreless ninth back in the opener of this series. That was not a save situation, as the Bees would win by 8, but he comes on now facing Bryce Eldridge, the #1 prospect in the Giants organization. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Fermin quickly ahead. Bryce Eldridge looking for his first hit of the night. 0 for 3 with a walk. Furman at second. Gilbert at first. Fermin the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Rivero. Nicely done. Keeps it in front of him. Runners stay. Excellent work by Sebastian Rivero. He took that one hot off the chest and turned himself into a hockey goalie in a hurry. Rivero back into his crouch behind the plate. Fermin holds just below the chest. Exhales, deals. In the dirt again, blocked by Rivero. It scurries away to his right. He gets over there to recover it. Runners hold again. And Rivero asks for time. That's 2 in a row where a ball has been in the dirt and wild, and he's been able to knock it down and then recover it quickly. 6-5 Bees. 2 out, 2-1 the count. Runners at first and second. Eldridge, the 8th hitter to the plate. Swing and a miss. Downstairs, 2-2. Bryce Eldridge is 2 for 11 in this series with the double. Runners walk out to their leads. The River Cats 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position tonight. 2-2 inside. The count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jose Fermin had some time with the Angels last year. Runners with their head start. 3-2. There they go. The pitch down. Check swing. Did he go? And all 9 hitters will come to the plate in this 8th inning. It's the 3rd walk in this 8th by Salt Lake pitching. Everybody moves up. Strange game here tonight. Each pitching staff has struggled with walking hitters. Each offense has gone cold for a stretch. Here's Buddy Kennedy. Bases loaded, 2 down. 6-5 Salt Lake. Kennedy takes at the top of the zone a strike, 0-1. Buddy Kennedy looking for his first hit. 0 for 3 with the walk. A cold game here tonight, a tight one here tonight. 0-1. Kennedy takes for a called strike, 2. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Sacramento. 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Bees. Fermin looking in. Comes set. Runners with their lead. The 0-2. Kennedy tops one and bounces it foul into his own dugout, third base side. We'll do it again. Nine walks from Sacramento pitching. 9 from Salt Lake. Fermin ahead 0-2. The Bees ahead 6-5. Here comes the pitch. Kennedy takes low. 1-2. The Bees and the River Cats with the series tied 1 game apiece. A doubleheader coming up tomorrow. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Kennedy flies it high in the air, right field, not deep. Holding for a moment, Lugo. Now tracking to his right. He'll make the catch. The inning is over. Fermin Bees looking for some insurance in this bottom of the 8th inning as they're up 6-5, top of the order. Christian Moore takes the first pitch low. And Santos out there again after he was able to put an end to the 7th. Close the line on Roxby. It's the next pitch cut on a missed, 1-1. Roxby tonight for Sacramento, a third of an inning. Did not allow a hit. However, 4 walks, 4 earned runs. He hit a batter as well. Pitch, 1-1 is inside, 2 balls and a strike. Christian Moore tonight looking for his first hit. 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts and a base on balls. He led off the 7th, he leads off the 8th. 2-1, scorched but foul. High to the right side, not a play. Count 2-2. Christian Moore, who reached 4 times the other night. He has walked 6 times in this series alone. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big punch out to start off the 8th inning. That is the first strikeout since Carson Wisenhunt exited the game. All the way back in the 5th inning. He had 8. Denzer Guzman walked a couple of times tonight. 6'5" Bees. Line drive down the right side and screaming up towards the concourse. And the chase is on for the Souvenir. Donovan Walton on deck. He took over for Vaughn Grissom. Guzman ready. And the pitch. Watches it low. And it's 1-1. Denzer Guzman homered back in game 1. He was 2 for 4 in game 2. Bounces one softly towards the shortstop, Basabe. He charges, fumbles, collects, throws to first in time. What a recovery by Oslavis Basabe. He charged it well, he just did not handle it cleanly. As it popped in and out of his glove, barehanded between his legs while he was still on the run. What great control by Oslavis Basabe. He's had a great night with the bat as well. 2 up, 2 down, bottom of the 8th, 6-5 Salt Lake. There's Donovan Walton. Grounds it towards the second baseman, Furman. He has it on 2 hops, trotting towards first. Throws to first in time. 3 up, 3 down, go the Bees in the 8th. Don't forget about the Bees Baseball Pass. $30 a month from April to September. Join us here at the ballpark at America First Square. Find out more by going to slbees.com. A 1-run game, 6-5. We head to the top of the 9th inning. It'll be Will Brennan, Victor Barracoto, and Grant McCray 5, 6, and 7 hitters. They started the 8th inning really well by helping them rally back to make it a 1-run game, and that is where the 9th inning starts. Fermin in the game, pumps at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Fermin, 2 saves last season in a Bees uniform. Brennan 1 for 4 tonight, doubled back in the 2nd. The 0-1. Grounded to first on 2 hops, backing up Mancini, turns, underhands to a covering Fermin, 1 down. 3-1 the putout. Played beautifully by Mancini. Great cover by Jose Fermin. Here's Victor Barricotto. Barricotto tonight is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. He has scored twice. Ort's final line, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of earned, walked 2. 6 for the Bees, 5 for the River Cats. The first pitch. Barricotto takes a strike. Victor 1 for 6 in this series. Sacramento clutch in the 8th. Trying to be the same here in the 9th. The 0-1. Fouled off of the catcher, Rivero. It's 0-2. Both pitching staffs have other struggles with command at times. Each of them have walked 9 hitters on the night. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Barricotto takes a called strike 3 with a spot by Fermin. Now the outside corner, 2 up, 2 down. And Grant McCray steps to the plate. And the final chance for the River Cats. Grant McCray has been on base 3 times tonight, still looking for his first hit. McCray, crack bat, little floater, center field. Here comes Siri on the run, makes the face-high catch. Ball game over. 6-5 the final, and the winner is Salt Lake. They do it with a big 7th inning. And throughout a lot of the night, it was the pitches they didn't swing at that set them up for great situations. Nick Madrigal brought in 3 runs today. 2 with a sac fly, 1 with an RBI single. The Bees, some timely plays defensively. Most importantly, stayed with it on offense after Wisenhunt had a tremendous start through the first 4 innings of this game, including 8 strikeouts for Wisenhunt. But the Bees, they were able to get to him in the 5th inning. Cut it to 2-1, tied it 2-2 in the 6th, took a 6-2 lead in the 7th, and held on to win by the final score of 6-5. A lot of people to high five tonight for their solid performances and a come-from-behind victory. That includes Nick Madrigal, and Nick is with Sammy Miller.
Nick, it may have been a cold night, but you sure did get hot at the plate, a 3 RBI game for you. So what really paved the way for your smart situational hitting?
You know, I thought the guys before me had some great at-bats. I mean, Siri was on base almost every time I came up, so it made my job easy. I think overall our lineup did a great job of just grinding out at-bats, and it's a great team win tonight.
And you said it, Jose Siri was lights out. What is it like hitting behind such an explosive hitter?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some great at-bats. It's a lot of fun playing with him. He brings energy every day, and yeah, really enjoyed playing with him.
And Carson Wisenhunt is one of the best pitchers in this league. So what was key to getting to him in that 5th inning?
Yeah, I think early on in the game we started off a little slow. You know, I think we just kept grinding out at-bats, and you know, it was 1 pitch at a time. You know, we got on base, however, whatever it took, you know, but that was a great team win. You know, we stayed with it, and overall it was a great win.
And I have to ask, you played a lot in Chicago. Did that help you tonight? It's 30 degrees here.
Yeah, I think so. You know, you never really get used to the cold, but, you know, I'm glad we got the win, and hopefully it warms up tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations. Go get warm.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. You get warm as well, Sammy. Thanks for your great work down there and braving out the cold. Thanks to the fans for being here tonight as well. The Salt Lake Bees now lead this series 2-1, and they have a doubleheader coming your way tomorrow. First pitch is going to be at 4:05 tomorrow for game number 1. Game 2 takes place 30 minutes after that. It was a cold one here on a Friday night, but the fans were bundled up. The smiles were still out there. The blankets in full force. And it's always an exciting time at the ballpark at America First Square. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Sacramento. 6 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for the Salt Lake Bees. Dylan Phillips, the winning pitcher tonight. Roxby took the loss, and Fermin, after having a couple of saves with the Bees last year, he got the save today. From the short game to the long drives, the Salt Lake Bees had the timely swings tonight as they went on to win the second out of 3 in this series. Doubleheader tomorrow. We look forward to having you with us. The final score tonight, 6-5. The winner is Salt Lake.